This is backcountryrunner.co.nz here with 2012 Kepler Challenge winner Vajan Armstrong. Vajan, how's it going today?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, you'll be pretty happy with the way things played out yesterday at the 25th Kepler Challenge for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had some hopes and dreams and aspirations for this race, and then I worked really hard towards those. And then when it all works out like that, when you achieve those goals, it's very satisfying. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with how it all went.
Yeah, now, it's obviously the 25th Kepler Challenge. It's a pretty big one to win. It's one that people are going to remember. Finally broke the 5 hour barrier yesterday, convincingly, with a 4:55. And now 3 wins in a row. I mean, you've got people like Russell Hurring, Keith Murray, Martin Lukes, and now yourself with 3 wins. I mean, that's got to be it's a pretty elite club that you've just joined. You've got to be pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah, and I mean it was really fun this weekend actually meeting Russell Hurring and having Marty Lutz here as always, and just getting to see a little bit more of the history of the race, and chatting with Russell was really cool just to get a feel of what it was like when he was racing it and what he was doing. And I mean it's really inspiring for me to be able to be mentioned in the same breath as those guys. And I mean I still don't think I've reached the same sort of level they did. I mean I've had 3 wins, but this was my first time under five, so I kind of felt like that was a step I needed to take if I wanted to sort of start to try and reach this sort of level that a guy like Russell reached. But I'd still definitely like to keep coming back and trying to bring that time down a little bit more. I mean, I've seen good progression over the last few years, and I hopefully can keep working on that and bringing the time down a little bit more.
Nice, nice. And before we get into, I guess, what's coming up next and what you're thinking, yesterday's race. I mean, I've seen you briefly for about 20 meters. You went out pretty hard. You took it out, right from the get go. You definitely seemed like you weren't hanging back. You made your intentions pretty clear as soon as that gun went off. How did the race play out for you?
Yeah, I mean, being the 25th anniversary, and I was keen to break five, so I didn't want to muck around. As soon as the race started, I just wanted to get straight into it, get into a good pace. And I didn't feel like I was running that fast at the start, but suddenly I had a little bit of a gap on everyone, and so I was feeling comfortable though. I mean, that was the sort of pace that I was feeling like, I'd trained, I was fit, I was, ready to go. So, I didn't want to just cruise it out to Broad Bay and then, just go up the climb. I wanted to just start running hard from the start and just try and maintain that the whole way. But what was nice was about halfway to Broad Bay, so I heard this guy come steaming up behind me, look over my shoulder, and it was the one and only Marty Luke. So he came past, took a bit of a pull at the front for a couple of minutes, and then he kindly gave me back the lead again. So it was nice. It was like a cycling peloton, and Marty came, broke the wind, and pushed the pace for a bit, and so that was nice. And it was nice for him as well. Got a chance to lead the race
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Nice. And you had a bit of company with Martin Cox up the climb up to Luxmore.
Yeah, so once the climb started, I took a drink at Broad Bay, and then a couple of guys came through, Jason Schlab and Tony Federini, and then so as soon as the climb started, I think I was in third place, but very quickly, my climbing legs were feeling pretty good, so I went past those guys, and a few minutes later, Martin Cox. He arrived on my shoulder, so I was kind of thinking that if there was anyone who's going to be keen on running the climb pretty hard, it would be Martin Cox. He's got a bit of pedigree at running up hills, so him and I worked together pretty well until we got out of the bush line, and then he, put the foot down and got the king of the mountain. But I was pretty happy for him to take that. I didn't want to be pushing hard at that point in the race. I was pretty comfortable and happy to, just keep running good solid tempo. And I was 2 minutes faster than last year. I went through this year in 107 high, so 107.50 something. So that was a good 2 minutes faster than last year. So I was comfortable, and that was feeling good. I was a couple of minutes up on last year's pace, and then heading through to the Irisburn, I was 2.5 minutes faster than last year from heading from the Luxmore down to the Irisburn. So got to Irisburn, and I was kind of 4.5 minutes up on last year and feeling pretty good. So that was exciting.
Nice. How did you find it across the tops there with a little bit of interest? I mean, the last previous 2 years, it's been nice views. This year was a little bit windier, a little bit gusty. Do you feel like that affected you along the tops? Slowed you
Yeah,
down, or?
I mean, it's interesting. I didn't really remember the wind at all until after the race, when a lot of my other friends and other people were finishing and were talking about the wind. Because I was just totally focused. I was like so focused on the trail and just like running that bit of trail to the best of my ability. Focused on the rocks and just running each little section as fast as possible. the wind didn't even enter into my mind. And then looking back on it now, I was like, oh yeah, actually it was pretty windy as soon as we came out of the bush line. We were running into a really solid headwind for quite a while. So yeah, but I mean, I was kind of happy with that I really kept my focus. I kept in the zone and kept racing to the best of my ability all day.
Yep, nice. And I guess it obviously everything went pretty smoothly out the Irisburn into the finish. But did you have any dark patches? Any periods that any tough periods there?
I mean, so when I hit the Irisburn, I was like 2:31 high, and so I knew I was on track to go sub 5, and so that gave me a lot of joy, and so I was excited. So it was more of a case of excitement, and I've got my new attitude when I'm racing, especially long races, is I really want to just stay relaxed and try and enjoy it. So I was actually really loving that whole section. I knew I had like a bit over 2 hours 20 to go to get back to the finish, and so I just focused on really loving it. Like the more I can enjoy it, the more energy I can put into it, and the more fun it is, and the more fun I'm having, the faster I'm going to be running, and the more relaxed I'm going to be. So, it all kind of, when you're running fast and it's going well and you're happy, you're enjoying it, then you can push a little bit harder. So, it's kind of, it all feeds. It's a sort of, you feed on that energy. Whereas, obviously most people, and for me as well, you have points where you're not quite feeling as good. But at that time, I just try and remind myself, how lucky I am to be in this situation. Here I am leading the Kepler Challenge, and things have been going good all day. So try and just to enjoy the moment, and that really helps me. And it's good as well because then I don't have to worry and think about what anyone else is doing. As soon as you start thinking about the guys behind you, and especially because there's no time checks and you don't know how far back they are, it just stresses you out. You just get, you get in the mind and you start worrying about any little noises you hear as someone coming. So if I'm just focused totally on my own performance and just enjoying that, it makes me stay relaxed and really helps me.
Nice. So, what's next? I guess after Kepler Challenge, I know you're going to go run the Milford on Monday.
Yep.
Nice little shakeout for the legs.
Yeah.
And what do you got coming up in the new year?
So I've got a couple of the two big races over the summer. Will probably be the Moonlight Marathon in Queenstown, the one that Adrian Bailey puts on. So that's going to be a big race this year. It's good, super good field. Mm-hmm. And then of course the big one for the New Zealand summer, I mean apart from Kepler of course, is the Tarawera 100. It's got a super stacked field, and every man and his dog who thinks they can run fast on the trails is going to be there, including a bunch of Americans and people from all over. So it's such an opportunity, having all these guys coming and racing in New Zealand. It's kind of in your own backyard, so it's the sort of thing you don't want to miss out on. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Last year I ran half decent. I ran pretty good, but I didn't really focus on that race and didn't give it the respect it needed. So this year I'm really my training's going to be rock solid.
You'll be looking to improve on 2 second place finishes there.
Yeah, I mean it might be tough this year even just to get on the podium though with the sort of field that's stacking up. But I'll back myself. I'll go out there. I'll love my time on the trails.
Yeah. I mean I think you've got the you'll have a bit of experience there, and seeing what Sam. Running with Sam and knowing what it's like to run an 8:30 there, you'll have a bit of an advantage, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nice, mate. And Saucony working out for you, obviously. Those guys will be pretty stoked with this result today. Yesterday.
I mean, big thanks to all my sponsors, especially Saucony, who give me all my shoes and my apparel, and then Ultraspire, who give me all the hydration packs and whatever I need from them. They've been awesome. And then Oakley as well gave me a bunch of some fine quality shades. Sadly, I didn't need any yesterday, but that's the way of the world.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, thanks a lot, Varjan, and we'll be keeping an eye on you in the future at Tarawera and Moonlight.
Yep, awesome.
Cheers.